Second time filming this, hopefully I don't ramble too much. So I'm coming on here basically to update you guys on what's been going on, because I haven't been on this channel in ages. And so if you're only on this channel, I'm really sorry about that massive long wait that you've had to have, but hopefully this gives you some kind of useful content. And if you're new here, then hello. So basically I've been on lots of different medications if you're new here. My last one was Paroxetine, and it was a good medication for my anxiety and depression, but it started to not work, and I personally didn't want to up the dosage. And I've also been getting fat on it as well, been putting lots of weight on from it, and that was something else that I just couldn't really cope with, that side effect. Because I went from a size 0, an American 0, so technically size 6 in the UK, to size 12, so that's up to a few sizes, and I'm still putting on the pounds. It didn't just stop there, so that's the main reason, and obviously the fact that things are starting to come back as well was the reason why I thought, you know what, another medication may make me benefit more, and may not make me gain the weight. And also I had like really bad sweats on Paroxetine as well, like I was sweating like a pig, and so I've started Paroxetine, and I'm scared because somebody I know that's got OCD, and she's got really bad nerves and anxiety like me, she used to live across the road from me, said that it sucked for her. Like she said, it was literally so bad, and like she had so many side effects from it, and all of the reviews online are like really negative as well. So now I've got really bad anxiety, but that's not due to starting this medication. The effects of this probably wouldn't have kicked in, but it's played my OCD up, and the fact that I'm one day off my old medication as well makes it more thingy. So my OCD is like telling me things like, oh, you're going to want to kill yourself and stuff like that, even though I probably won't, and if I do, then obviously I'll call my doctor. I've been in that state before, and I know that Paroxetine helped me, so I'll know that it is the change of the meds, and it's not the way that that's not how I would usually be thinking on the Paroxetine, but obviously those symptoms are coming back on the Paroxetine, so I do want to try something different. And the fact that I've got to come off my medications anyway, basically I've got to come off my medications because me and my partner want to try for a baby, so when we do get pregnant I'll have to come off of it, and I don't want to do that point blank. So what I'll probably do is, after a month of being on this medication, I'll see how the effects are, because usually I can tell after 4 weeks and more how the effects are personally for me. So hopefully I'll be able to see whether the effects are good or bad. And sorry, I can hear the washing machine in the background, that's distracting me. I'll see, and then I'll be like, yeah, when I've had the baby, then what will be the best medication for me, the Paroxetine or this Paroxetine? And if I do go back on the Paroxetine, I know that I can't stay on that milligram that I was on. I think it was 60 milligrams, because I need a higher dosage than that. But basically when I start getting immune to that, I need a higher dosage, and I don't want to go through that my whole life of upping the dosages or sticking to a really high dosage. Personally, I don't want to do that. So with Paroxetine, I'm on 20 milligrams. They've just started me on that straight 20 milligrams. I've just watched a man who went from 5 to 10 milligrams, and he's still on the 10, and he's not ever gone up. Sometimes he goes down, doesn't fully affect. Sorry. So I know that you probably can't really see the weight gain, but if you look back on these previous videos you'll see a little bit. But obviously I've just got like a stomach now, do you know what I mean? And personally it's making me feel depressed as well. That's making me feel really shit about myself. But I know that it's worse being on no medication for me than being on a medication. But I did have a really, really, really shit time with Prozac. It literally made me want to kill myself, and I was thinking I'm never going to be able to get out of this funk. I was thinking that this is how I've always felt, and I'm hoping that I don't start thinking like that on this, because I will know that the reason why I'm feeling so fucking shit about life, because I feel depressed anyway, but if I start getting like really bad, because I've been ignoring my depression, you could say. Since being on the duloxetine, I've been ignoring it, so it's still there, but I've been able to ignore it, whereas with this paroxetine, I'm wondering whether I'm gonna actually just let myself think about that type of stuff. So it just basically, this is day one. I'm gonna give you an update. Depending on what day I feel the best to do the update on, because say if I do it tomorrow, it's a bit silly because that's just day two. Personally, I think it's a bit silly, so I'll wait a couple of weeks, probably post on the 14th to 15th day, something like that. Just give you an update on how I'm doing, then I'll give you another one when the month's up on how I felt like it affected me, especially from coming straight from duloxetine, not lowering the milligrams or anything, and coming straight onto this. Usually I get brain zapped, so that's the symptom I'm most scared of, and the fact that I struggle sleeping. Off medication I struggle sleeping, and with duloxetine I've had a funny sleep schedule, so it's not necessarily been that I can't sleep, but it's getting to the point where now, even when I know I've got to do something the next day, it's stopping me from sleeping again. But I did have sleep really bad to the point where I couldn't sleep at all, and that was before I went on duloxetine, so I'm hoping that I don't get like that again, especially being on antidepressants, because I've had it where they keep me so awake and so alert, that it's really shit. So I'm hoping it doesn't keep me like really alert and making me not be able to sleep. I do feel quite awake, but it is only day one, and the fact that I've just come straight off my old medication as well. So I really don't know how this is all going to pan out. I don't know whether I'm going to want to come back off it, onto this one when I've had a baby, because the duloxetine, I know for a matter of fact, it did help my OCD, and it did help my depression as well, but I was more of ignoring the depression, and the OCD did creep back in as well, and obviously I don't want to go higher than the dosage I had, so that's the only problem, and the weight gain as well. I'm hoping that this doesn't make me put on weight, but apparently it could do, like it's common, especially from looking at the reviews on YouTube, but I'm hoping it makes me lose the weight. I know it's only a month that I'm going to be on it, but if I do come back on this after my pregnancy, if I do get pregnant and have a baby, then I will want to, I'll want to come back on this one if it works, and I don't want to gain any more weight after that, because I'll be fat anyway, and I'm already fat now, but I'll be very, very fat, and I won't be needing to gain that extra weight. So it just depends on whether this one helps me the same as duloxetine but makes me lose the weight, or doesn't help me at all, in which I'll go back to the duloxetine, or it helps me but I do put on weight, but it helps me more than the duloxetine, then I'll stick with this one. But if it helps me less than the duloxetine, slightly less or the same as the duloxetine, I'll probably just go back with the duloxetine. In fact, I was on it for more months than being on this one, if that makes sense. So basically, after a month of being on this one, if I feel like it's really, really helped me, I'll come back to it. And especially if I've lost pounds, then that's an extra bonus. If I've lost pounds and I feel like shit, I'm not coming back on it. But if I basically, just depending on how it goes, see which one's better, I'll weigh out the pros and cons, and I'll give you an update as to why I've decided to do that in over a year, because obviously I'm not having one anytime soon because I'm not pregnant, so I will update you on all of that if I do. Hopefully I can. Obviously the vaccines, they don't know whether it can cause infertility, and the fact that I'm having my second one at the end of this month as well. I do want a child, but then also the midwives say to people wanting children, basically, they say it's the best thing to do is to get the vaccine, because then, you're stopping yourself from catching COVID, but it's no good if it lowers your chance of fertility, so we'll just see. But yeah, I'm nervous about this medication now. I'm not going to look at any more reviews. I've looked at 3 good reviews, but they've all said that they've had weight gain on it, and that scares me. But usually with medications that say that you're going to gain weight on it, I never used to gain weight on it, but because this is because duloxetine made me gain weight, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I will gain weight now on antidepressants, or maybe I just weren't on them long enough to gain the weight. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And if I do gain weight on this, I'm already fat as it is, and it says it can make you put on an extra like 10 pounds, which means that I'm gonna be like 12 stone. So I'll be like for me, because I'm short, I'll look really fat. So I really hope that doesn't happen. Well, I think I'm 10 stone, but I'm almost 11 stone, so I'll be almost 12 stone. Oh yeah, and I got engaged, so yeah. I thought it was a white gold ring, but turns out it's a silver ring, and it's got real diamonds in though. That's one thing it's got. But they are manufactured in the place where I got the ring. So yeah. So I would talk for ages, but I live in a flat and there's people trying to sleep all around this flat. The one downstairs and the one beside and the one underneath the beside. So I've got to go, but I love you guys. And oh yeah, I forgot one of the other most reasons that I came off the duloxetine is because I've never self-harmed, but on duloxetine I have a few times. And my anger has been really bad, and I've not been afraid to like hit myself and stuff. Like I've not been afraid of that until afterwards. Whereas like in my usual right mind, like I'd be too afraid to do that. And afterwards I'd be afraid as well. But, do you know what I mean? So like, and I've just been losing my temper really easily on the duloxetine. So we'll see. This one might help me with my anger. I might actually find myself again. Like I might actually be me again. So we'll see. Alright, love you guys. Bye.